Hi, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and you have to excuse me, my face is a little wet. I literally just washed my face. But anyway, today I went out and I had a chance to go hear Dr. Cornel West speak. And if you know anything about me, you know that I have a tremendous admiration for Dr. West, and I figured I would try to explain part of the reason why I'm so impressed with him as a human being. Most people have never got a chance to really meet Cornel West, and I can say this, that the times I've met him and I've seen him interact with other people, most people who have interacted with him will tell you that he's about the most genuine public figure that you'll ever meet. I met a lot of so-called famous people and well-respected people, and he stands out because he has a genuine love and a connection with everybody he meets, a tireless energy that allows him to really be engaged with people, to listen to their stories, to really care about them. And you just don't see that. Most of the time, celebrities are very plastic. They just sort of sit there and they think it's all about them, and they're elitist, and they won't talk to certain people and go in certain situations. And it's very rare when you meet somebody that has the spiritual energy necessary to really truly be a lover of the people. And there are some things that he does that are very different from other people. Like, for example, he wears the same suit and the same shoes all the time. It's kind of a tribute to poverty, from what I understand. I have to ask him about this just to be sure, but basically he does things that are unpretentious. He's very big on connecting with the people and caring about the people. And here's the thing that makes me respect him the most. He loves black people. And think about this for a second. How often do you hear any celebrity, any public figure go around saying that they truly love black people and they truly want to fight for black people? You don't hear that very often. You don't hear from politicians. You don't hear from rappers. You don't hear from actors or most celebrities. Why? Because they take black love for granted. They know black people are going to love them no matter what. They know black people will take any scraps that people will feed to them and be happy with that. They're just happy if you barely acknowledge them. If you say people of color, or if you throw out a policy and you don't mention black people at all, you don't say the words black man or black woman anywhere, then black people will still try to look for the little signals because they want to find an excuse to love you. And I'm not just talking about, some people think I'm talking about Barack Obama, and it's not just about Barack Obama. I mean, he's part of a broader collective of understanding that basically says that black people's self-esteem is so low that you don't have to acknowledge them. I mean, think about how often you hear any of our political leaders talk about African Americans. You have, Al Sharpton, a brilliant man. Now, mind you, he's one of the smartest people I've ever met, and I was impressed with him for a different reason. But you see so many cases where you have public figures that spend more time fighting on gay rights and immigration and other issues than you do on issues that relate to their own people. And a lot of that is because you make it too easy. You are like the little political slut that sits and waits for the man to come and see her once every month and doesn't ask any questions, doesn't expect any commitment, doesn't expect any reciprocity, doesn't expect anything. So I say that black people have to let go of this. We have to stop letting people treat us as their political sluts, if you will. And I use that slut term in a gender neutral way. And a slut to me would be anybody who sits around and waits for somebody to just give them any scrap, and they accept that and they give that person status without that person having earned it. So if you want to know what I think about Dr. Cornel West, I see how much money he loses by not having the favor of the American public. There are so many things. He probably lost his radio show because of him speaking out in favor of black people. He's lost a lot of speaking opportunities because of this. He has been mistreated by the government because he's spoken up for black people. But if you really look at black history, really don't take my word for it. Go do the research. Look at the life of Martin Luther King. Look at the fact that he was very unpopular before he died. He spoke up against the American military machine. He spoke up for black and brown people. He spoke up for poor people, working class people. He wasn't allowing anybody to buy him out. And they hated Dr. King the same way they hate Dr. West. So that's why you hear me say, I think Cornel West is probably the closest thing we have to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, were he alive today, I think would speak out on many of these things, and he would say, but not as a discredit to Barack and other politicians, but he'd say, look, I don't care what color you are. It's the color of your conscience. Where do you stand ethically when it comes to a love of black and brown and poor people? And if you don't agree with him, he's going to let you go. So that's all I want to say. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Please take care. God bless and have a wonderful day. I am gone. Peace.